Hi there, everybody. I'm going to do a reaction video to a trailer for a film that was made about me, starting in about 16 years ago and released in 2011 and on DVD in 2012. And so it's kind of a peculiar experience that I know a lot of people uh, couldn't really necessarily identify with, and it is a surreal feeling for myself even to this day. Now, this film is called Confidence Man, the Hugh DeNeal Story. It was made by filmmakers Stace England, Bob Stride, and Dan Johnson. I'd known Stace for a number of years as a musician around Cobden. First met at the Yellow Moon Cafe back in 1999, I believe, potentially 2000. But and I got to know Bob Stride, in his work in some on stage work and other musical elements. And I did not know Dan Johnson at the time. He's a well-known potter. He's really talented in making amazing pottery, but also filmmaking. That was what Dan brought to it, his experience in filmmaking and cinematography and all. And so it was quite an experience to be a part of this film that I was the subject of, but it was not something that I had started or uh, my people, I guess you would say. And so um, under the circumstances, it was something that I felt compelled to allow be a part of and try to support in all the best ways that I could. I like the filmmakers. I think they're good people, and so my feelings about the film, it is kind of impossible to be objective by being the subject. Now, that being said, over the years, I've sold the DVD copies as merch, and I really like hearing when people say they enjoyed the film and it was fascinating and interesting and compelling, and that makes me feel really good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to watch the film and see how this all goes here. Okay.
What about the time we went to Leavenworth? That was crazy.
Oh man, I'll never forget.
We were filming.
So this is Alex, Kurt, and I, Hank, and sure do wish I could.
Hugh DeNeal is the finest American songwriter since the.
Hold on a second here. All right, I'm figuring out how to work all this. We're going to go backwards here. I just want to say, this is Alex, Kurt with the Woodbox Gang, and Mike Havlis, who spent a lot of time on the road with us. They're taking me out to Leavenworth today. I'm going to report. So here we go.
Yeah.
I sure had long hair back in the day, and it sure wasn't gray.
Hugh DeNeal is the finest American songwriter since the vintage years of Bob Dylan, or Townes Van Zandt. I think he's that good.
So
This is what
that's
I do.
our very good friend Jason Ringenberg, and Jason is so kind, and those kind of accolades are so kind of Jason to say, and I really appreciate it. I uh, I think he's being overly generous there. I so admire Bob Dylan and so admire Townes Van Zandt, but Jason has been such a great supporter over the years, and we got to play the backing track of his great song "Broken Whiskey Glass" on a compilation of and a kind of retrospective that he did back in 2008, best tracks and side tracks. And so we got to play on Broken Whiskey Glass, and it was pretty fun. But Jason, such a great fella, and really appreciate him. He covered our song "Almost Enough" on his 2019 album "Stand Tall." Really appreciate Jason.
how can how can I do this any better? I can't, I'm beating my head against the wall trying to get my music out there.
All the
We're
albums
traveling, we're selling records, we're doing interviews, we're doing all the things that you're supposed to do, but it's not working.
I remember him saying.
That was Mike Lascelles, who we recorded almost all the Woodbox Gang albums with over at Miss Under Studio in Murfreesboro, Illinois. And, before I went to prison, Mike let me stay over at his place and stay in the studio a lot. I was kind of homeless a little bit for a brief time under the circumstances. So Mike has been a great friend and a great supporter of the band over all these years. This is my ex-girlfriend, Rachel. I put her through a great deal of things. I don't feel great about that. She's got a great family and wonderful children now, and I'm really, really proud of where she's at, and had some really great adventures together and good times, and things don't always work out, but she's doing great, and I think we're both happy with where we're all at now. I do feel bad about some of the things I put her through.
There's got to be a way you can make money with the internet. I know you can.
It's an inconceivable underground world of these high-yield investment programs. I kind of discovered that world.
Sure had a full head of hair back then.
My first reaction was there is no way in hell that what you're doing is legal.
Something doesn't have to be fraudulent from the get-go.
You were talking about...
That fellow was a postal inspector. I never got to meet him in person. This individual seemed to come along after the fact of me going away, so I never got to meet him. But really grateful for the United States Postal Inspectors to agreeing to be a part of this film, because they found it to be an educational opportunity, and that's the reason I'm talking about this, as well as a educational opportunity on the other side. But really grateful for the U.S. Postal Inspectors, and they do a lot of great work behind the scenes that really do great things for all of us. There's some rough stuff out there. So here's Rachel again, probably not saying that everything was super and wonderful. That's understandable. Here we go.
The devil is
There's my dad.
And also talking about how lots of people have given you a lot of money.
Not necessarily with pointed tail and the hooves.
What's that all about?
You could never guess what he's going to say next. It's never, ever predictable.
I've been doing all these horrendous,
I think I still have that
terrible
shirt.
He's got this
Former
confidence
landlord
that
Mike
it's all
White.
gonna work out. I just couldn't
He really
figure out
helped me
how
out.
it was going to happen.
Hippie Love was the name of the organization.
I'm out of money, everybody. People went crazy. Actually a fellow blackmailed me. I had some death threats and different things that I was dealing with.
His eyes would just be scanning the audience.
And paranoia.
There's 6 figures that I need here next week.
He was nowhere near making profits. He was...
That's Jacob Golson, postal inspector I did meet, and I got to meet with him a few years later. And so, he treated me very well, with great humanity. I came to them with the idea that I wanted to tell my story and be truthful about it, and they appreciated that. So I think it was a mutual respect for everyone doing their job. My job was to stop being a criminal and begin the process of attempting to live with some integrity. His job was to stop really bad people, as well as maybe okayish people who had really bad ideas that went in really, really terrible ways that have an equally disastrous effect. And so I like to think that we understood that that's the category I fell into. But still, there's consequences to pay. Even when you don't set out to do bad stuff, you can be very destructive. And so I'm happy to say that if anybody's in any kind of situation remotely like that, there is a path on the other side through the darkness, and it is worth getting through and turning things around. So all right, that's Jacob.
I was just wanting money to live and pay bills.
That's true. But looking to do dangerous things while they're just trying to get money to pay some bills. So anyhow,
A los
oh my
45
God.
te...
Okay, so that's enough of that. So that's the film. That is a trailer. There's not many copies left available, really, as far as on DVD. I've talked about putting it out on some kind of streaming, even somewhere. So I think people have shown interest over the years. It kind of represents a certain time frame of you know a time in history. It was pre-crypto, even though it had such great similarities to crypto. So um, I'm happy that the film exists. If you can get a copy of it, maybe it'll be available to be out there to be spread in the future. So it's a surreal thing to have a documentary made about you. You know, I don't. It didn't make. I know it lost money. I feel like I might be an eternal money pit in every capacity, and I'm sorry about that. But those guys worked hard on it, and it's interesting to just to see according to people. So hope you enjoyed this kind of reaction video here. This is a new thing for me. I think I might be doing some more such things. So thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you.